Hello, accelerated math 6-7 students. We are officially on our last lesson of Module 4, and our last lesson of Module 4 is writing and graphing inequalities in the real world. Okay, writing and graphing inequalities in the real world. All right, so let's take a look at this. These are the notes on the iPad. Let me get it to focus for you. Okay, so writing and graphing inequalities in the real world is basically taking all of the information that we worked on yesterday and teaching you how to represent it with graphs rather than just words. So the goal, today we will continue working with inequalities and learn to graph them. The question that I want you to be thinking about in this lesson is, how do you tell the difference between greater than and greater than or equal to, or less than and less than or equal to on a graph? Okay? So what I want to start out with first is let's do a quick review because you guys have been working your hearts out on solving for variables. And so our quick review says 1/3 f equals 4. And then we also have m plus 7 is greater than or equal to 20. Okay. So I'm going to move this over here just for a minute so that we can look at these two problems that we have. So we have, excuse me, 1/3 f equals 4. So first thing that I want to reiterate, because yesterday when I was walking around watching kids work on their problems, I was noticing that some of you don't have a clear idea of what I am wanting you to do when you see a problem like this. What this means, if we read it out loud, is it means I'm going to take 1/3 times f, and it's going to give me an answer of 4. So I'm going to take 1/3 of a number, and it's going to give me an answer of 4. Well, if I read it like that, it makes things a lot easier and a lot clearer because I can immediately draw a tape and know that I'm cutting it into thirds because all I want is one of them. So if it says I take 1/3 of a number, which I don't know what that is, so my bracket happens to be f because this is the whole number and I take 1/3 of it and I get an answer of 4, well that means that 4 sits in here. Well, knowing something about tape diagrams, if 4 is sitting in here, that means it's also sitting in here. It also means that it's sitting in here. So when I read this math sentence, it says 1/3 of a number gives me an answer of 4. Well, very quickly, because of the tape, I now can solve this. So I now know that f equals 12 because 4 plus 4 is 8 and 8 plus 4 is 12. So that gives me a grand total of 12. So if you plug that back in, you have 1/3 times 12 over 1 should give you an answer of 4. Let's check it. 1 times 12 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3. 12 divided by 3 does equal 4. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 equals 4, so check. You just solved it. So we now know that 12 is equal to f. Okay? So now let's try to do this side, and we're going to think about it the same way. Is it says that we have a tape, and our total is going to be 20, right? And I know that I have m plus 7. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can do this. What number plus 7 gives me 20? Well, because I have number sense and I know, then I know that m has to equal 13. But we have to look at this. It didn't say equals. What does it say? What it says up here is it says that it's greater than, because of this part of the symbol right here, or equal to, because of this part of the symbol right here. So what this answer has to be is that m is greater than or equal to 13. So that's how we would solve that. And then you plug it in and see. So 13 plus 7 is greater than or equal to 20. Let's check it. 13 plus 7 is 20. So the answer would be true because of this equal to right here. So 20 is greater than or equal to 20. So check, it works. So we now know that n is greater than or equal to 13. So now the next thing in the notes, so let me set that to the side for a minute. The next thing, because we solved for the variable like it says, the next thing in the note says, how do you graph both equations? Okay, well, this is pretty simple. Because when you graph equations, all you're doing is you're showing them on a number line. So for this problem, I'm going to draw a number line, okay? And it says right here that f equals 12. So all I have to do is put some numbers on here and say, here's 12 right here. This equals f. So that's how we would show it, okay? So then that's it. We're done. F equals 12. So the answer is 12. Well, if we are going to graph this one, it's a little bit different. You're still going to use your number line, but we have to draw a picture of what it means. And what we learned is that m is greater than or equal to 13. So again, I'm going to create a number line, okay? And I know that the number that has to be represented is 13. Now here is where it's very, very important that you pay attention to what I'm going to show you. M, so we're going to put M up here, M is equal to or greater than 13. So when you see a symbol that says greater than or equal to, like this one does, you have to show that by putting a dot on the 13. So I'm going to erase the M for just a minute because that's going to confuse you. So we're going to put a dot on the 13, but here's the most important thing about the lesson. This doesn't just say greater than 13, it says greater than or equal to. Since it says or equal to, you have to color the dot in because the dot is now telling you the answer could be 13, but it could also be anything greater than that. So the arrow to the right represents the greater, and the closed circle on the 13 represents the equal to. So this is how you would graph this inequality statement. This is how you would graph the equal statement, okay? And so now you know how to graph both of them. So let's do a couple more just to make sure that you are clear on this. What if I give you x is less than 5? Okay, we can do that. So you draw a number line, put some numbers on there. Okay, I'm going to say 5 is right here. And now I'm looking at it, and it says it's less than 5. So is it 5? Your answer is no. So our circle has to be open because the answer cannot be 5. The answer has to be less than 5. So we would draw it just like that. So this picture is showing you the answer cannot be 5. It has to be less than 5. Okay? Let's try another one. What if I tell you that x is less than or equal to 2? Okay, well, we can do that again. Draw your number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Doesn't matter how many ticks you put on there because we're going to put the 2 right there. And it says that x is less than or equal to. The equal to part means I have to color it in because the answer could be 2, and then less than or equal to, so I have to go to the left. Okay? So this is how you graph all of these inequalities. If it doesn't have the or equal to, it's an open circle. If it has the equal to part, it's a closed circle because that means that the answer can be 2. Okay? And then to graph just regular equality statements, you just put a dot on the number and label it. Okay? All right, there's one more piece that I need you to get in your notes, and what that is the less than symbol. Okay, the less than symbol is going to be like this, less than. And on a graph, the less than symbol is going to be an open circle to the left. Okay, then the next one it said is less than or equal to. So less than or equal to looks like that. It's going to be a closed circle to the left. The next one says a greater than symbol. So this is the greater than symbol. It's going to be an open circle to the right. And then when you have greater than or equal to, it's going to be a closed circle, colored in, to the right. Okay? So you need to remember those 4 symbols and what the graph looks like. And that's all that this was down here in your notes. And that's it. That's all we have. Okay, let's go back up to our goal. Today we will continue working with inequalities and learn to graph them. And then how do you tell the difference between less than or equal to, or greater and greater than or equal to on a graph? And the way you tell the difference is because of these pictures right here for your symbols. Okay? So you'll practice this in class on tomorrow, and And that's all I have for you today.